hit it hard enough. Good start.
Chair recognizes that the Lenore County Board of Education has established a quorum and calls the May 1, 2023 regular monthly board meeting to order. Chair recognizes Mr. Nick Harvey.
Thank you, Mr. Chairman. Let us pray. May the words spoken in this room tonight be beneficial to the students, parents, staff, and administrators in our school system. And may we be led by the guiding principle to always base our decisions on the best interests of our young people. Amen.
Thank you, Mr. Harvey. Please join me in the Pledge of Allegiance.
I pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all.
Thank you. I think I've said it in the last couple of board meetings. I'll say it again. I don't know from your perspective, from up here, that really sounds good with all those young voices out there saying it. Thank you. Chair recognizes Mr. Brent Williams to present the agenda for tonight's meeting.
Thank you, Mr. Chairman. Members of the board, tonight is my honor and privilege to present to you for your consideration and hopefully your approval tonight's agenda.
Thank you, Mr. Williams. Is there a recommendation or a motion pertaining to the agenda?
Motion.
Who was first?
It don't matter.
Okay, motion by Mrs. Cash. Is there a second? Second by Mr. Smith. We have a motion by Mrs. Cash and a second by Mr. Smith to approve the board agenda as presented. Is there any discussion? Hearing none, Chair will call for the vote. All in favor of the motion as stated, please signify by raising your right hand. All opposed, like sign. Motion carries 7-0. The agenda is set for tonight. Is anybody here? Mr. Harris here? I haven't seen him either. Okay, we normally would recognize our elected officials at this time, and I don't see anybody in the audience. So we'll move on to comments. We have a full agenda for tonight, and I would ask that each board member have their questions and or comments ready for our presenters. I would also ask that you request to be recognized before your questions and or comments. This will help facilitate an orderly, timely, efficient, and effective meeting. We would like to continue to thank all the teachers, staff, and employees, regardless of job description, for the outstanding commitment, dedication, and hard work that goes into making the students of Lenore County Public Schools successful, as well as the Lenore County Public School System itself. May 8th through 12th, 2023 is National School Staff Appreciation Week. We will recognize and celebrate during our meeting tonight. We want to assure all stakeholders that Lenore County Board of Education and the administration will continue to commit to doing everything possible to provide for a safe and healthy environment for all our students, staff, and our community. With the school year winding down, there are numerous events scheduled for the upcoming weeks, culminating with graduation. We will have an update tonight pertaining to those events. And Mr. Williams will highlight more good news about the hard work and dedication that Lenore County Public School students and staff have put forth that resulted in numerous honors, recognitions, and accomplishments. And with that, Chair recognizes Mr. Brent Williams to present the following honors, recognitions, and accomplishments.
Thank you, Mr. Chairman. As the chair noted, it is that time of year. Our teachers, our students, our other staff members are working very hard to close the school year successfully and to finish strongly. We appreciate everything that everybody's doing. It does take us all. It takes a village to bring these children up. It takes a village with the parents and the staff members at school and the teachers and everybody working together in the united mission of doing all that we can for the young people that we're so richly blessed to serve. So parents who are here tonight, grandparents, others, we thank you for sharing your young people with us. We value you and we value them. They are a blessing to us every day, and we try to be that for them. So we thank you. To our staff members, we thank you as well. Without you, none of our primary mission of teaching and learning could happen successfully. Our first graduation, a high school graduation for 2023, will take place on May 10th at 6 p.m. Lenore County Early College High School on the campus of Lenore Community College. We're so pleased, and they start on the college schedule and they end a little bit early, so they start before the other schools, but they end before the other schools too. So our graduates, and they're doing amazing things. They have a record number of scholarships. We'll have some students here tonight. Mr. St. Amand, the principal, is here tonight. But so many wonderful things happening out there, and that's it's appropriate that it's our first high school to kick off our graduation series. So we'll be out there, and then for our 3 traditional high schools and Lenoir County Learning Academy as well. So for all 5 of our traditional and non-traditional high schools. Lenoir County Early College High School has achieved another honor. I've been notified recently by U.S. News and World Report that once again they have been named as one of the best high schools in the United States in the U.S. News and World Report's annual rankings. This prestigious honor means that Lenoir County Early College High School ranks upon the top, near the top of the list of 18,000 public high schools across our country. U.S. News uses RTI International, a global research firm, to process, analyze, and compare information from the College Board and the United States Department of Education about schools across the country and how they're doing, from student achievement to other operational data from the school. Factors considered are enrollment, graduation rates, student achievement, academic programs offered, types of assessments given, enhancement opportunities for students, and other factors such as college credit or degrees earned. Congratulations to Principal Mr. Steve St. Amand and the entire staff and student body at Lenoir County Early College High School for earning this honor once again. We appreciate your hard work and dedication to excellence. The results are truly impressive. As the chair noted, this is May 8th through the 12th is National School Staff Appreciation Week. This week has been designated by President Biden, and we are celebrating it with our teachers next week. Our principals have a full range of activities, and some of them involving our students and all of the staff members, to celebrate our outstanding staff members. We are truly convinced that we have the greatest teachers and other staff members anywhere, and that's on display, full display, every day in our schools, every day, all day, as they say. And it is our week next week to highlight them to an even greater degree. We appreciate them every day, but to an even greater degree next week. So I want to thank every member of the school system family for what they're doing for our kids. As I noted earlier, I've always appreciated being superintendent of Lenoir County Public Schools, but never more so than during this period of pandemic and recovery, when so many things were changed and amended and canceled, and these teachers and other staff members made it work for our kids. And we took the hand that we were all dealt in the world, and we made it work. And beyond that, the growth that we've seen since we've been this far past the pandemic, the growth that the teachers are reporting every day in the classroom, the growth that our students are showing, the growth that we as a school system had last year with 15 of our 17 schools meeting or exceeding all expected growth standards set by the state, that's truly impressive at a time when most school systems were really, really struggling with the growth and with so many kids behind. So yes, every day, but especially during Staff Appreciation Week, I want to say we truly appreciate all that every staff member in our schools, all that they're doing every day to contribute to the safety and well-being of our kids and to our academic mission of educating every student every day to the greatest extent possible. They truly are superstars. Tonight, it is my honor to recognize, as the chair noted, some of our students and staff members for those outstanding accomplishments, and quite a showcase we have for you. First of all, North Lenoir High School senior Courtney Humphrey has been chosen to receive the Barnhill Family Assured Admission Scholarship to the University of North Carolina at Chapel Hill. The Barnhill is a 4-year all-expense-paid merit scholarship valued at, let me pause here, all expenses paid scholarship valued at $100,000. And Courtney has earned this. She's a hardworking young lady. She's involved in everything. She's a standout student athlete and just a great young lady. Started her own business. I've had the pleasure to teach Courtney, to work with Courtney and tutor Courtney some, because I still do that. I'll never fully get out of teaching. I have many students that I still work with, and I love that. Courtney's a great young lady. $100,000 scholarship to the University of North Carolina at Chapel Hill. Only a handful of scholarships are awarded to students guaranteed admission to the university's schools. Courtney has been assured admission to the Keenan Flagler Business School at UNC. Because of her assured enrollment status, she was invited to join the Honors College. At North Lenoir, Courtney is president of the DECA chapter, the National Honor Society, and the SCA, and a member of the varsity volleyball and soccer teams. She's an entrepreneur, and as founder of Court Does Knots, a crocheting business that last year helped earn her a first-place win at the state DECA conference and a trip to compete at DECA's international conference in Atlanta. She's a Renaissance young lady. Congratulations to Courtney Humphrey. Courtney, if you'd come forward, let's give her a round of applause. Courtney, a lot of young people your age can't say they have a big-time scholarship like that, and that they've started their own business, and that they've won a big state-level award in doing that. Anything you'd like to say to you folks about what it means to you?
It means a lot. I've always wanted to go to UNC Chapel Hill or somewhere else I've wanted to go, and I applied for other scholarships, didn't get them, and eventually this one just fell all stars on, and I got it, and I have never been more grateful or more proud of myself than that.
Good job.
Congratulations to the 2023-2024 Lenoir County Public Schools Teacher of the Year, Ms. Catherine Griffin of Banks Elementary School. A first grade teacher at Banks, where she has spent her entire 21-year career as an educator, Ms. Griffin is a National Board Certified Teacher. She has served as Science Olympiad Coach, Grade Level Chair, School Improvement Team Representative, and Beginning Teacher Mentor. She has presented at a number of state conferences on digital learning and at district writing workshops, and has served on the LCPS Writing Task Force. She has twice been named the school's Teacher of the Year. As LCPS Teacher of the Year, she will represent the district in the regional competition in December. A state Teacher of the Year is chosen from that number. I am confident that Ms. Griffin is not only going to represent Lenoir County Public School, Banks Elementary, and LCPS well. I am confident she's going to do very well in the state competition, and we could well be looking at a future state Teacher of the Year. So excited about Ms. Griffin. If you come forward, please. Ms. Griffin gave some moving remarks at our Teacher of the Year or Staff of the Year banquet. In appreciation of her role, I would like to give her a chance just to make a statement or so about what the award means to her, for you.
I'm incredibly honored to be a proud product of the Lenoir County Public Schools myself as a student, and be able to pour back into the children of our community and our school. There's no greater gift. I love my job. I said it over and over. I love my school. I love my students more than anything. And I hope to make you proud. Thank you.
We're also celebrating the winners of 2 other annual awards that honor excellence within the LCPS family. Ms. Tamika Roach of Southwood Elementary School is the 2023-2024 Teacher Assistant of the Year, and Mr. Anthony Underhill, a custodian at Northwest Elementary School, is the 23-24 LCPS Non-Instructional Classified Staff Member of the Year. Ms. Roach joined LCPS and the Southwood staff 3 years ago and is a bus driver in addition to assisting in the kindergarten classroom of teacher Ms. Quashonda McCormick. She is a member of Southwood Elementary School Improvement Team. an active supporter of school fundraisers and events, and she's a volunteer for after-school activities. Mr. Underhill joined LCPS and the Northwest staff just 4 years ago. In addition to his custodial duties, he helps oversee the safety of students during arrival and dismissal times. He assists with within school safety drills and is valued for his mentorship of students and the positive atmosphere he encourages at the school. Congratulations to these two valuable employees. Ms. Roach and Mr. Underhill, if you'd come forward, please. We went out to the schools to present these awards, and of course we had our banquet but a few days ago, but I don't think I've ever seen two more excited people. Ms. Roach's husband got in on the act with us, and we were able to fool her only because he helped us. Mr. Underhill was truly excited, and we congratulate. Thank you. Congratulations. Mr. Underhill, congratulations. And in reading the nominations packets of these two individuals, it's really striking how their colleagues said and students said they had made a difference in their lives. Would either of you like to say anything about what this award means to you?
I'm just thankful, to be in a position to be able to serve. I thank God for being able to have the strength to get up to do what I do every day, and it's coming straight from the heart.
On behalf of the Northwest LU School faculty, let everybody know that I truly appreciate, the whole work that I put in. I know it's appreciated there. I certainly see banks will tell me this very much appreciated, and I feel honored to do the job, and I really appreciate it. Thank you.
We have state champions among us tonight. 4 students from Lenore County Early College High School teamed up this past weekend to claim the state championship in the North Carolina Council on Economic Education Personal Finance Challenge and to earn a spot in the national competition. The team of sophomores, Spencer Jones, Marwan Abdeldani, Montana Barrett, and Sydney Jeffries won the state title in just the second year of competition by the early college in the NCCEE event held at the Federal Reserve Building in Charlotte. Each student received a $250 scholarship and the opportunity to earn more at the national event. Congratulations to the team and to the coach, Dr. Travis Town. Dr. Town was not able to be with us tonight, but the Early College High School principal, Mr. Sandeman, is here. I'd like for him and for the state champions to come forward and let us recognize them. Sydney? Proud of you. Marwan? Got it. Got it. Congratulations. Proud of you. Would any of you like to say anything about what this state level win going to the nationals? Can you give me the date of the nationals?
June 4th and 5th.
June 4th and 5th.
Where?
Okay, location?
Cleveland.
Going on the road. All right. Cleveland, Ohio. So send up some thoughts for them on the 4th and 5th, and I think they're going to bring home the national win. We're very, very proud of them. Anybody like to say anything about what this means to you?
Just having the teacher I have, Dr. T's taught us so much, and being able to take anything I've learned and apply it to a real life situation has opened my eyes to the financial and economic side of the world. And I'm grateful for that, and just the school that I have is like a big part of helping us out with school, and I'm grateful.
These these young people, these young people started a business and under Dr. Town's leadership, and they have to keep the books. We've been out there and looked at their business, and they've explained it to us, and they make cups and mugs and promotional items, and they sell them, and they have to keep the records on profit and loss margin. I think some of y'all said some of that stuff surprised you, right? What materials cost and how thin that profit margin can be and non-existent. So it's great. So you feel like you're ready for the world of business? Or at least that's great. That's what I love to hear. Great job, guys. Board members, they said they will be available to provide at low cost for board members for a limited time only some financial advice if you need it.
I'll take it.
Five LCPS students will spend part of this summer studying at the highly selective North Carolina Governor's School, chosen in competition for spots in the 4-week program were Hannah Van, Elijah Heath, Shemaiah Hall of Lenore County Early College High School, Hayden Ziegler of South Lenore High School, and Javier Grady of Kinston High School. About 650 students are from some 1,800 nominations to attend either Governor's School East Campus at Meredith College in Raleigh or West Campus at Winston-Salem State University in Winston-Salem. Hayden Ziegler will study math on East Campus. Elijah Heath will study natural science on East Campus. Hannah Van will study English on the East Campus. Shemaiah Hall will study natural science on West Campus. And Javier Grady will study theater on West Campus. We are very proud of these students, and we're sure that they will make the most of the Governor's School experience. Governor's School is a life-changing experience. Students year in and year out report they make connections and friendships that last a lifetime. So we hope for you young people, we're very proud of you, and we hope that you'll have that same experience. We'll do anything we can to make that happen. If you come forward, please. Hayden. Okay, JVR grad.
Hayden.
Proud of you. Shemaiah. Anna. Proud of you. And Elijah. Guys, anybody like to say anything about what this means to you? Governor's School is a big deal. A lot of kids going to Governor's School from Lenore County. We're really proud.
I can say something. We're all very grateful for the opportunity that Governor's School has given us. We're also very thankful to the Lenore County Public School team over here. They really helped us throughout our application process. They helped check over anything in order to help us submit our best work possible in order to get to this program. So thank y'all. Thanks to all the teachers here and also the team out here at Lenore County Public Schools.
I just want to say thank you, thank God for this opportunity anyway. This is not taken lightly. I want to thank my principal, Ms. Kelly Brown, who's helped me throughout this process as well, and Ms. Tori Hazelgrove, who no longer works with North County Public School, but who followed out my process. And lastly, my teacher, Ms. Cynthia German, she's my theater arts teacher, and I'm thankful for her as well.
For me, I just want to thank the counselors at my school who all helped me, and especially my coach who helped me with my application process and helped me through that.
Anyone else? Anna?
I'd just like to thank everyone who helped me get through the application process, and most definitely my teachers, because without them, I probably wouldn't have the courage to apply anyway, so I'm really glad for them.
I want to thank everybody at Lenore County Early College Public School, going from a last-minute applicant to being one of the finalists for this opportunity was absolutely amazing. I'm grateful for everybody at the end.
And proud of them.
It's all good. It's all good.
Skylar Harrison of North Lenoir High School, an aspiring special education teacher. Well, let me pause there and say hired, already hired. An aspiring special education teacher is one of 132 students in the state named a North Carolina Teaching Fellow, a competitive merit-based forgivable loan program providing tuition assistance to up to $8,250 per year. Skylar plans to take her Teaching Fellows Scholarship Award to North Carolina State University, the University of North Carolina at Raleigh, I hear. I just heard that somewhere. Teaching Fellows receive enhancement and enrichment activities throughout their programs of study. Following their graduation, they benefit from the new Teacher Support Program as they begin to work in the schools across the state. Congratulations to Skylar. Skylar, would you come forward? Skylar's a great young lady. I had the opportunity to meet her and get to know her. She's got her stuff together, organized person, mature beyond her years, and she's got it figured out. So, congratulations, Skylar. Anything you'd like to say to the folks about this scholarship?
I'm very honored to have received this award. I would not be where I am today if it were not for all of my past educators and current educators. I'm very grateful. And parents. For all of your support. I hope to represent Lenoir County very well.
You have so well. I'm very proud.
Good job. Good job.
And finally, tonight, we're proud to announce that 2 of our educators have been named finalists for top honors awarded by the North Carolina Association for Scholastic Activities. Math teacher Samantha Kroom of Lenoir County Early College High School was one of 2 finalists for the 2023 New Coach of the Year Award, and Kinston High School Media Coordinator Miss Sarah Levin is one of 2 finalists for the 2023 Coach of the Year Award. Both are being recognized for their work with the school's Quiz Bowl teams. Winners will be announced at the NCASA Awards Showcase in Greensboro on May 13th. Best of luck, Ms. Kroom and Ms. Kroom and Ms. Levin. If you come forward, please. State level winners, possibly moving on. We're excited.
Thank you for the recognition. I'm really proud of my students because they've come a long way in the past few months. And yes, thank you.
It's great. I'm grateful for my FSPC. Thank you, Ms. Bright. But I also want to say that when you're a coach for an academic type team and you have that moment to teach and they get some information that's new and you get to go explore it, that's the spark, that's the why.
I think, Ms. Shayman, you got out of the last picture. You were supposed to be up here at that. You didn't get in that. And Ms. Bryan, so you guys are here. As they say on that show, on TV, on daytime TV, come on down. Mr. Chairman, if anybody ever doubts that our best days are ahead of us in public education and in the world, then they need to pay attention to the young people on display tonight. It's powerful affirmation that our kids are great, they're doing amazing things. I think it's powerful that you heard from them directly and that they communicate with such intelligence, such grace, such maturity. It certainly affirms for us all that our future is indeed bright, because it will be in their hands. Thank you, Mr. Chairman. That concludes my report.
Okay, any questions for Mr. Williams? Any comments? All right, thank you, Mr. Williams, for highlighting those successes. Still more examples of the amazing things happening in the Lenore County Public School System with our students and our staff. Ms. Taylor, do you want to sign up? Thank you, ma'am. We will now move to the presentation portion of the agenda. Chair recognizes Mrs. Melissa Lynch to introduce a digital learning showcase.
Good evening. Tonight I'm pleased to announce that we have Frink Middle School here with us. We have Ms. Nancy Gilmore, their digital learning specialist, and we have Mr. Smith and Mr. Biggs, and they have also brought students that will be showcasing. First of all, thank you so much for having us tonight. We are really excited to be here. We were blessed with the opportunity to have Nancy from Apple come do coaching and teaching with us in March, right before spring break. So we are just here to share that experience with you. It was a great opportunity for me as a new digital learning specialist in my second year to understand kind of the bigger picture that Apple has when they work with our districts. I also really enjoyed working alongside the teachers and seeing their spark. We've had a lot of new staff join us over the last few years, and I think having her presence there was really inspiring to them and really got the creative side really going with all of the teachers. And so I've got two teachers here and two students that are going to share with us tonight about what they did when she was with us. So I'm going to go ahead and hand it over to them. We'll start with Mr. Vincent Biggs, 6th grade teacher.
All right, good evening, everyone.
Good evening.
Good evening.
All right, so when we met with I'm Mr. Biggs, Vincent Biggs, ELA, 6th grade, teacher out of E.B. Frank. We met with the Apple coach. I was just grateful with the experience of being able to sit down and plan. She planned along with me. One of the things that we were working on that particular week was figurative language. And so I did identify that my students were having a rough time with figurative language. And so the Apple coach, Ms. Nancy, sat down and showed me a way to use Keynote, the technology, and to take pictures of random objects and allow the students to animate those objects in order to be able to understand. And so I knew that was something that they really needed to do, so I pursued it. The team was great. They came in, and I was second guessing myself, am I on the right track here? But in a recent PLC that we had, ELA PLC, we discovered that the figurative language standard was one of the standards that our students across the district need additional support with. So I was grateful. We was already in that direction with that. So here is just an example up here of an idiom. It's raining cats and dogs. So this is a great example. Now this is the way I would have probably presented it to them before. And it's just a picture. You can tell that it's raining cats and dogs. But Emerson is going to show you some examples of how you can take a picture like this and you can animate it, okay? And you can turn it into different figurative language.
Hello, my name is Emerson Dunn. I'm a 6th grade student at E.B. Middle School. Here I will show a couple of slides on figurative language journal. An example of personification is the hand sanitizer begged me to use it because my hands are sticky. An example of simile is I needed the pencil to be as sharp as a splinter. An example of metaphor is the water in my hydro flask is an iceberg. An example of onomatopoeia is boom, the notebook fell on my desk.
Good evening, I'm Mr. Smith, the art teacher. And I was honored and excited to work with Nancy, the Apple coach. I really didn't know what to expect going into it. But I got in there and she was full of ideas, and two of the highlights of that co-planning session was she introduced me to the Everyone Can Create Apple books. I know that's something simple, probably a lot of people know, but I wasn't aware of some of the resources there, so I hope to create a photography unit on that. I love photography. I know the iPads, student iPads, can allow students to do that. Another highlight of that planning session was the use of Apple pencils, which you see there's an Apple pencil right here. I wanted to bring one, but I'm glad one is in this iPad. So we have a class set at Frank, and that's what we decided to work on. And I wanted to just show you some of the examples, and of course you see this satisfies our objective for creating digital art. But the cool thing about the Apple Pencil is you can use it just like a regular pencil. You can tilt it to the side to make broader strokes. You can apply pressure with it. I didn't know it had that capability. And the thing is that these students had a lot of control using this thing. It was nice to utilize that. And you see with the example up here, the blending and the different values shown, the darker values up top, and they were able to successfully blend that to the lighter values. We just stuck with one color for this project, which I know there's different colors in each letter, but we worked on that. And here's just a few more student examples. And this was the first time that a lot of my students were able to use the Apple Pencil, and they loved it. They fell in love with it. I don't think they want to go back to a stylus now, but they are definitely spoiled. Here's another good example of the color blending technique. And like I say, the Apple Pencil used a lot. The students were able to have a lot more control with that. And I have brought along one of my star art students, a sixth grader, Kai Manley, and he is going to share with you about his artwork.
Good evening, everyone. My name is Kai Manley from E.B. Frank Middle School, 6th grade. Today I'm going to share with you how I use to create artwork in the classroom. The first project is my graffiti letters. I use an Apple Pencil to create this. The Apple Pencil makes the drawing and the shading accurate and precise. The Apple Pencil allows me to have more control of my drawing. Using a regular stylus does not have the same effect as an Apple Pencil. The stylus tends to lag, causing mistakes within the drawing.
And I just wanted to, let me interject there. This was created in the Sketches School. And this was a project that had typically been a paper pencil, colored pencil project.
For this sketch I have done, I took a picture of myself and then I traced it. After I was done tracing, I added the little colors for the features. And then for my last part, I added little shading and the little lights reflecting from my nose and from my eyes to make it more realistic.
Good job.
Good job.
Thank you all for coming and representing Frank so well. We appreciate you seeing us tonight and letting us share this opportunity. It really was wonderful, and I think that we probably could have asked all the teachers at Frank to come out here and talk about their experience, because the first day that she was there, she met with every teacher on our campus during their planning, and then a few were selected to really have that one-to-one teaching and coaching. So I think they all wanted it after they met her the first day, and I think they were a little jealous. In 6th grade, there were 2 6th grade classes, art, and then ELA that got to have that experience. And then we also shared it with Chadwick Stokes in 8th grade history, and with Pauline Lindo in 7th grade math. So we appreciate the opportunity to have Nancy come into our school. So thank you so much.
So any questions? Any questions?
Yeah, are there any questions for Mrs. Lynch, Mr. Smith, Mr. Biggs, Mrs. Gilmore, Kyle, or Emerson?
I'd just like to say Emerson and Kai, great job. Mr. Biggs, great job. Mr. Smith, Ms. Gilmore, great job. Thank you, Ms. Lynch. Great job, guys. Very proud of you.
Any comments? Okay, thank you, Mrs. Lynch, Mr. Smith, Mr. Biggs, Ms. Gilmore, Kai, and Emerson. Still more examples of how digital learning is helping our students to be successful. Thank you again. Chair recognizes Mrs. Melissa Lynch to present an overview of Lenore County Public Schools' participation in DPI's NC Ties Conference.
Good evening, Mr. Chairman, board members, Superintendent Williams, and others. The North Carolina Society of Technology and Education, or NC Ties Conference, it's a state conference that's held each March. This year it was held March 8th through the 10th in Raleigh, North Carolina. Lenore County Public Schools was honored to present 6 conference session presentations at the statewide learning conference. Tonight I'm going to share a brief overview of the 6 presentations that we presented. Heather Clark, Digital Learning Specialist at Northwest Elementary School, and Kristen Stroud, Digital Learning Specialist at LaGrange Elementary School, presented Obvious to You, Amazing to Others. During this presentation, they shared tools and creations that their students and teachers use on a daily basis that might be obvious to us at times, but can transform and be very amazing to others. This was the second year that that presentation has been presented. It's a very popular one in our district as well as at NC Ties. Sarah Levin, who you saw earlier tonight, the media coordinator from Kinston High School, presented an introduction to grant writing workshop. And during this workshop, participants explored the grant writing process and learned helpful tips on where to find grant opportunities and how to be successful with their writing. Dr. Travis Town, who is a history teacher at the Early College High School, he presented 2 presentations at NC Ties this year. His first presentation was utilizing tech resources within the EPF, or Economics and Personal Finance curriculum.
You saw evidence of that tonight.
Absolutely. And in this presentation, he shared with the crowd that was there specific technology resources that he uses with his own students and in his teaching. Very impressive resources. I learned so much from his presentation that I was able to take back as well. In his second presentation, he presented on embracing the power of Google Sites in the social studies curriculum. Google Sites is a website platform, and what he discussed with participants is how students can create their own websites to enhance their learning and understanding of the content that's presented in social studies. We had Alicia Davis, who's a 5th grade teacher at LaGrange Elementary School, and Kristen Stroud, our digital learning specialist at LaGrange Elementary School, presented a poster session entitled WLGES Studios, Student Broadcasting. During this session, they were able to interact with conference attendees and showcase the way that their students perform their morning announcements online via Zoom every morning. So their students, they have a broadcasting room within their school. Their students present again online, and all of the student body and the teachers log on to Zoom in the morning and are able to view the broadcast. They're also able to save that and then share those and play those at a later date for parents in the community. Our last presentation was presented by Miss Amy Jones, our high school and CTE director, and by Stephanie Harrell, who's our LCPS STEM coordinator. And they presented a presentation entitled Recoding Our Future, Bringing Computer Science to Students in Rural Communities. And in this presentation, they focused on our coding and computer science opportunities that we have specifically for middle and high school students. This is a wonderful presentation. It's also been presented and asked to be presented more than once at not just NC Ties, but other statewide conferences. We're very, very proud in Lenore County Public Schools, and we have a lot to share, and we get asked a lot to share, which is wonderful. And I thank you so much for allowing me just a small amount of time to share the presentations with you. I'm very, very proud of our digital learning team and all of our teacher leaders who always step up to share the good things that are going on here in Lenore County Public Schools. And I'm happy to answer any questions you might have.
Any questions for Mrs. Lynch?
Of course, no other district in the southeast region had this many presentations in Raleigh.
That's true. 2 years in a row, most.
Okay, any comments? All right, thank you, Mrs. Lynch, for
Thank
that
you.
presentation. Still more examples of how Lenore County Public School staff are excelling in education technology. Chair recognizes Mrs. Frances Herring to present an update on the end-of-year assessment.
Good morning, good afternoon, Mr. Chairman, board members. It is definitely been Monday. I just would like to share with you the testing and accountability schedule that we have for the end of the school year. Here we go. Well, that's not me. There we go, excuse me, thank you so much. Beginning May 24th, it will be our third grade Read to Achieve assessment. I'm sure you've heard of the Read to Achieve, you've had it on the books for many, many years now. But it'll be administered May 24th, district-wide, so all third graders. The very next day, the third graders will take their math EOG assessment district-wide. The following day, May 26th, 5th and 8th grade students will have their science end of grade exam. May 31st, our 4th through 8th grade students will have their English language arts end of grade exam. And then starting June 1st, 4th through 8th grade students will have their math end of grade exam. June 1st through June 7th, that week is where our traditional high schools will have their exams that are not end of course state exams. And then May 8th through May 12th, which is right around the corner, are the exams for our early college high school. We mentioned earlier that they have their graduation next week, so their exams are earlier. And there is a brief overview of the EOG, EOC assessments that can be found on the LCPS website under Testing and Accountability, and the link is called 2022-2023 Testing Calendar. So it's right around the corner. Everybody's busy getting ready. So if anyone has any questions, I'll be happy to answer them.
Any questions of Mrs. Herring? Any comments? Thank you, Mrs. Herring, for that update.
Thank you.
Chair recognizes Mrs. Frances Herring again to present a summary of Lenore County Public School district-wide programs and events.
Thank you, Mr. Chairman and members of the board. We have been very, very busy the last 2 months. We're going to be very, very busy the next coming weeks with end of year celebrations and programs. But we just want to share what we've been doing the last couple of months, the events that we traditionally hold in the spring. The title of the presentation is LCPS is Amazing. I just think it's true. So first, I'd like to share with you the RIME event. It's the Regional Industry and Manufacturing Expo. It was formerly referred to as Manufacturing Day. You may remember that. That probably jogs a memory. But we've renamed it Regional Industry and Manufacturing Expo. And these are some pictures of some of our high school students as they were touring the different sites and opportunities that were made available to them that day. They were located all over the county, and we had tremendous participation from our local industry and manufacturing community. We're very, very appreciative of that. We had our second annual Careers on Wheels. We had, I believe, about 45 folks came and represented their particular wheels with our students. This is just a few examples of the opportunities our students had. This was the end of March 30th, and it was held at the fairgrounds. That's right. It was held at the fairgrounds, and we had hundreds of students go through and meet at each of the stations, and they had an opportunity to ask questions and learn about those particular careers and what they could do to be a part of it when they grew up. And I had to put our very own school bus, so we were there too. We've had our excellent Battle of the Books competition. Moss Hill was our elementary winner this year. Woodington Middle School was the middle school winner of the Battle of the Books, and we're very, very proud of them. They worked very, very hard. And then we had our annual Science Olympiad. The picture at the top are all the students. The elementary Science Olympiad are all the students gathered in the gym at Contiguous Savannah that were gracious enough to to host us this year. And then we had, I have a picture of the winners and just an example of one of the students shooting off his rocket in 3, 2, 1 blast off competition. This is always a huge favorite in March. March is Celebrate the Arts Month. We had one weekend was All County Band, and the next weekend was All County Chorus. Under All County Band, the top picture is our middle school band, and the bottom picture is our high school band, All County High School Band. And then on the right, we have our high school chorus on the top and our elementary chorus on the bottom. This was held at the Performing Arts Center, and it was a phenomenal opportunity, and the children did such a great job, and we were very, very proud of them. The Gifted Gala, I think many of you were there. We appreciate you coming. The Gifted Gala gives us an opportunity to allow students to highlight many of the projects that they have completed in the classroom or completed in clubs, and it ranges from elementary all the way to high school. So we are at Kinston Community Center, we used to call it the Woodman, and we take over the whole gym, as you can see in the picture in the top right. And then these are other pictures of students as they were showing their projects, and everyone did such a wonderful job. And the students have an opportunity to go around and ask questions of each other, and you have an opportunity as a visitor to have children ask you to explain their projects, and they do such a great job. It's always, always thrilling. The Exceptional Children's Department stays very, very busy in the spring. They have their Special Olympics. They do the EC Autism Fair and the EC Awards Ceremony. You can see in the bottom left, that is the opening parade to our Special Olympics that is hosted by Kinston High School, and it is just such a special day. And as you can see, hundreds of our students participate, and it's truly an exceptional day for exceptional children. Our EC Autism Fair is the picture in the center, and it is about a 3-hour opportunity for members of the community and parents to come, and we connect them with resources and opportunities to find resources and outreach for their families, and they do an excellent job putting that on. And then Mr. Williams there speaking at the EC Awards Ceremony, and one of our students receiving her award. If you aren't moved at the EC Awards Ceremony, I don't know. You gotta be moved. It's this very special event. It's one of my favorites of the entire year. So EC stays very busy. We've celebrated Miss Catherine Griffin. We had our Teacher of the Year banquet. It was wonderful, as always. Miss Catherine Griffin was awarded the Lenore County Teacher of the Year. And the 3 finalists, runner-ups, were Miss Ashley Deaver, Miss Catherine Hart, and Mr. Leonard Palmer. And that's always a nice event. And we're busy doing so many things. We have district-wide programs. As Ms. Lynch showed you, we're participating in conferences. We're busy with our intervention planning and implementation. Our phonics programming is underway. Our letters training, we're getting ready to wrap up our first year. The retirement luncheon is around the corner. I've shared with you, we've got exams coming. We have graduation and promotion ceremonies coming up right around the corner. We've got summer programming underway, and we're already planning our professional development opportunities for the 23-24 school year. So we're very, very busy, and I'll be happy to answer any questions you may have.
Any questions for Mrs. Harry? Any comments? As you can see, there are a lot of exciting things happening in Lenore County Public Schools. Chair recognizes Mrs. Amy Jones to present a review of the Career and Technical Education Funding Application Process.
Good evening. Thank you for allowing me this time. Tonight, I'm submitting the CTE local application for your review. The application must be submitted to NCDPI in order to receive and use state and federal funds for CTE programs and services. Our programs include PRC 13, PRC 14, and PRC 17. And successful applications will yield approximately $3.4 million in program funding, including positions. The local plan and assurances certifications are attached for your review. If you have any questions, please feel free to reach out to me. I'll be happy to answer them. The local plan is a 2-year plan, so it's unchanged largely from last year, and then it will be reviewed and revised for the next school year. That is
Any
all.
questions for Mrs. Jones? Any comments? Okay, thank you, Mrs. Jones.
Thank you
for the
so much.
presentation. And this application will come back to the board for approval at a later, next month.
Yes, sir.
Thank you, ma'am. Chair recognizes Mr. Eric Adams to present the March 2023 and April 2023 financial reports.
Thank you, Mr. Chairman. Good evening. A special treat this evening, not one, but 2 financial reports for your review. The March and April 2023 financial reports summarize budget and year-to-date activity for the respective month end. Additionally, the reports present the local current expense fund balance for the same time periods. As you have an opportunity to review the reports, I'll be happy to answer any questions you may have.
Any questions for Mr. Adams? Any comments? All right, thank you, Mr. Adams, for those reports.
Thank you.
And we will now move to the action portion of the agenda. Chair recognizes Mr. Eric Adams to present the 2023-2024 planning budget.
Thank you again. In accordance with general statutes, for this evening's for your approval is the planning budget and the superintendent's budget narrative for the 2023-2024 school year. The planning budgets are required to be submitted to our county commissioners by May 15th. The planning budgets are based on estimated revenue and expenditures and come from the recommendation of our board subcommittees for capital outlay and for our budget subcommittee.
I want to thank all the members of the board who served on those committees in getting to this point. Thank Mr. Adams for his work in bringing this budget together. We had a great meeting with our commissioners today, leadership from the Board of Commissioners, leadership from this board with the chair and vice chair. And so we appreciate Chair Linda Rouse Sutton of the Board of Commissioners and Vice Chair Eric Rouse and County Manager Michael James and their support in this process, and our Chair and Vice Chair in the meeting today with them.
Attached to your agenda are copies of those meeting presentations as well as the line item budgets for the respective line item budgets as well as the budget narrative.
Any questions for Mr. Adams?
I just got one.
Yes, Mr. Smith.
Those lottery funds, is there any change or any talking to legislate about redoing the what do they call it, where they use the calculations to give districts? Because we've been getting the same $750,000 for years.
And unfortunately, we don't realize the full amount of that $750,000.
We still don't get a full amount.
We do not.
Bond debt retirement for 6 years on one bond debt and 7 years on another. When when those bond debts are retired, we will get that full amount.
Right, I remember bond debts, but the funds just been the same all these years, and I know it's based on ADM and things, but it don't look like they ever change it.
Well, it is based on the lottery revenues that the states receive. There's legislation almost every year affecting the lottery. Most recently, 7 years ago when they put in the $100 million maximum to be spent on capital, that changed the landscape of the lottery in schools tremendously. Now you have the public school needs-based grants. I did see recent legislation that would disallow the Lottery Commission from using any funds for advertising and all those dollars, which is not a small amount of money to be sent to schools. Whether or not that'll pass, I don't know. That was a recently introduced.
Right. It's just strange to me that all these years the lottery's been the same, but the pot keeps getting bigger and larger every year, but the funds never change. That's just an observation.
Thank you.
All right, any more questions for Mr. Adams? All right, thank you, Mr. Adams. And as Mr. Adams said, the The 2023-2024 planning budget has been approved by the Budget Committee and the Capital Outlay Committee. Is there a recommendation or motion pertaining to the 2023-2024 planning budget? Motion by Mr. Anderson, is there a second? Second by Mr. Woods. Got a motion by Mr. Anderson, a second by Mr. Woods to approve the 2023-2024 planning budget as presented. Is there any discussion? Not hearing none, chair will call for the vote. All in favor of the motion as stated, please signify by raising your right hand. All opposed, like sign. Motion carries 7-0. Mr. Williams will present the 2023-2024 planning budget to the county commissioners. Chair recognizes Mr. Eric Adams again to present the 2022-2023 audit contract.
Thank you. For your approval this evening, Barrett Harrison Davenport has submitted a one-year contract for the audit services for the 2022-2023 school year. The financial statement audits would begin after year end, with their report being submitted to the local government commission by the October 31st deadline, and then subsequently submitting their report to this board. As you have an opportunity to review the contract, I'd be happy to answer any questions.
Are there any questions from Mr. Adams? Any comments? Motion to approve. Got a motion by Mr. King. Is there a second? Second. Who was it? Mr. Cash? We got a motion by Mr. King and a second by Ms. Cash to approve the 2022-2023 audit contract as presented. Is there any discussion? Hearing none, chair will call for the vote. All in favor of the motion as stated, please signify by raising your right hand. All opposed, like sign. Motion carries 7-0. Mr. Williams will inform Mayor Harrison Davenport of this action. Next item on the agenda is the National School Staff Appreciation Recognition. As has been previously stated, May 8th through 12th, 2023 is National School Staff Appreciation Week. As also has been stated, the outstanding commitment, dedication, and hard work exhibited by the teachers, staff, and employees of Lenore County Public Schools has been and continues to be extraordinary. The past 3 years has created additional challenges and hardships that has tested students and staff. Therefore, the Lenore County Board of Education would like to express its gratitude and appreciation and say thank you to the staff of Lenore County Public Schools for performing their duties and responsibilities during this unprecedented time by issuing a resolution to honor the staff of the Lenore County Public Schools. Now, is there a recommendation or a motion pertaining to the resolution?
Move to approve.
Got a motion by Mr. Smith. Is there a second?
Second.
Second by Dr. Outlaw Starkey. So we have a motion by Mr. Smith and a second by Dr. Outlaw Starkey to approve the resolution as presented. Is there any discussion? Hearing none, chair will call for the vote. All are in favor of the motion as stated, please signify by raising your right hand. All opposed, like sign. Motion carries 7-0. And at this time, I would like to take the opportunity to read the resolution. Okay? Which all board members will sign after the meeting. Okay. So, resolution to honor the staff of Lenore County Public Schools. Whereas the Lenore County Board of Education is dedicated to its mission of providing the young people of Lenore County with the very best of educational programs in an environment that is safe, nurturing, and conducive to learning. And whereas the Lenore County Board of Education recognizes that its mission cannot be realized without the dedication and commitment of each and every staff member of Lenore County Public Schools to bring their best efforts each day to serve the children of Lenore County to the best of their abilities. And whereas the Lenore County Board of Education acknowledges the extreme hardships created by the COVID-19 pandemic on the staff and students of Lenore County Public Schools and the additional efforts that were required to staff to provide services throughout that unprecedented period. And whereas Lenore County Public School is currently facing the same employment shortages that other districts are facing, from bus drivers to related service providers to school psychologists, school nurses, and to classroom teachers. And whereas these staffing shortages create significant new challenges that have had tremendous impact both in regard to the level of responsibility and the level of stress that is placed on each individual employee. And whereas the efforts of staff to rise up and meet these challenges has not gone unnoticed by the Lenore County Board of Education. And whereas Lenore County Public Schools is celebrating National School Staff Appreciation Week, May 8th through the 12th, 2023. Therefore, be it resolved that the Lenore County Board of Education publicly recognizes the challenges faced by LCPS staff and expresses its deep gratitude and support to the outstanding men and women who have dedicated themselves to ensuring that the students of Lenore County Public Schools receive the very best of service. The Lenore County Board of Education says thank you to the staff of Lenore County Public Schools. Your efforts have not gone unnoticed and will change the lives of our children. Be it furthermore resolved that a copy of this resolution be entered permanently into the minutes of the Lenore County Board of Education, adopt this first day, May 1, 2023. And as I said, to be signed by all members of the board. Okay. All right. Chair recognizes Mr. Nick Harvey to present the Martin C. Freeman property resolution.
Thank you, Mr. Chairman. It is my great pleasure to announce tonight that following the successful subdivision of the Teachers Memorial property, the subdivided lot containing the Martin C. Freeman complex, better known as the gymnasium and parking lot, is ready to be transferred via deed to Lenore County. We respectfully and highly recommend and request that this board sign the attached resolution allowing the property to be sold for fair market value of $295,050, but with the offset of the county's expenditures on the gym over the years to be calculated as an offset on the fair market value, resulting in $0 being transferred as a part of the closing. The purchase contract has been sent to the county's attorney for review. Upon the signing of the resolution sale contract, the school board and the Board of Commissioners can move forward with closing and finalizing the transfer. I'll be happy to entertain any questions that you may have.
Are there any questions, Mr. Harvey?
Just clarification, I was clarifying, Superintendent, $259,050.
Yes.
Are there any other questions from Mr. Harvey? Okay, thank you, Mr. Harvey. I think
you.
we're waiting for this day to come. Is there a recommendation or a motion pertaining to the Martin C. Freeman property resolution?
Move to approve.
Motion by Mr. Woods. Is there a second?
Second.
Second by Mr. Smith. I have a motion by Mr. Woods and a second by Mr. Smith to approve the resolution as presented. Is there any discussion? Hearing none, chair will call for the vote. All in favor of the motion as stated, please signify by raising your right hand. All opposed, like sign. Motion carries 7-0. Mr. Williams will present the resolution to the county commissioner. Chair recognizes Mrs. Frances Herring to present the alternative accountability model for the Lenore County Learning Academy for the 2023-2024 school year.
Thank you, Mr. Chairman. Members of the board, the State Board of Education grants alternative schools permission to choose an option from the alternative schools accountability model. This model allows provision of an overall rating of progressing, maintaining, or declining for alternative schools, which is based on 20% school persistence, 20% school achievement, and 60% student growth. LCLA has successfully chosen the alternative progress model since the State Board of Education approved the alternative schools accountability model in 2014. Mrs. Stephanie Smith, principal of LCLA, would like to continue with option B of the alternative progress model. The recommendation is being made that the local school board please approve LCLA to continue with option B, alternative progress model for the 23-24 school year.
All right, any questions for Mrs. Herring? All right, thank you, Mrs. Herring. Is there a recommendation or motion pertaining to the alternative accountability model?
Motion to approve.
Motion by Mr. King. Is there a second?
Second.
Second by Mrs. Cash. We have a motion by Mr. King and a second by Mrs. Cash to approve the alternative accountability model for the Lenore County Learning Academy as presented. Is there any discussion? I'm hearing none. Chair will call for the vote. All in favor of the motion as stated, please signify by raising your right hand. All opposed, like sign. Motion carries 7-0. Mr. Williams will inform the State Board of Education of this decision. Chair recognizes Mrs. Frances Herring to present the out-of-state school field trip request.
Good evening. We have 3 out-of-state field trip requests tonight. One is from E.B. Frank Middle School. Their 8th grade students would like to visit Colonial Williamsburg, the Jamestown Settlement, Yorktown, and Busch Gardens. The trip will be April 4th through the 6th, 2024, so they're way ahead of the game. The next trip was referenced earlier. Dr. Travis Town would like to take the students who won at the state level to Cleveland, Ohio. We recognized them earlier. They'll be gone June 4th through the 5th to the Cleveland Federal Reserve Building, where they'll be competing at the international level. And we are sending our best wishes to them. And last but not least, North Lenore High School is asking for the FCCLA club to be able to travel July 2nd through the 7th to Denver, Colorado's Convention Center. The 2nd of July through the 7th of July. And there are 3 students going, and we have 2 chaperones attending. And they will be flying a commercial air here. And taking an activity bus to and fro from the airport. If you have any questions, I'm happy to answer.
All right, any questions for Mrs. Herring? Thank you, Mrs. Herring. Is there a recommendation or motion pertaining to the out-of-state school field trips?
Motion to approve.
Motion by Mr. King, is there a second? Second by Mr. Woods. We have a motion by Mr. King and a second by Mr. Woods to approve the Frank Middle School, North Lenore High School, and the Early College High School out-of-state school field trips as requested, as presented. Is there any discussion? Hearing none, Chair will call for the vote. All in favor of the motion as stated, please signify by raising your right hand. All opposed, like sign. Motion carries 7-0. Mr. Williams will inform the schools of this action. Chair recognizes Mr. Brent Williams to present the North Carolina School Boards Association policy revision.
Thank you, Mr. Chairman. Presented at the last meeting with intended study with action to be taken at a subsequent meeting. These policy revision proposals are coming forward tonight for your consideration for action. These are from the School Boards Association PLS policy revisions subscription service that we have in response to recent legislative changes.
All right, any questions for Mr. Williams?
No, I just got a question on one.
Yes, sir, Mr. Smith.
I was just noticing that, I noticed earlier, that it's saying now that the children have to have the pneumonia, or they call it pneumococcal conjugate vaccine as part of their entry now.
If they enter before 5.
If they enter what?
Before
the age of 5.
Before 5 years old. Okay. Yeah, I saw that. Okay.
All right, any other questions for Mr. Williams? All right, is there a recommendation or motion pertaining to the policy revisions?
Move to approve.
Okay, Mr. Woods, there a second? Mr. Smith, we have a motion by Mr. Woods and a second by Mr. Smith to approve the North Carolina School Boards Association policies and revisions as presented. Is there any discussion? All right, hearing none, Chair will call for the vote. All in favor of the motion as stated, please signify by raising your right hand. All opposed, like sign. Motion carries. Mr. Williams will incorporate these revisions into the Lawrence County Board of Education policies. Is there a recommendation or motion pertaining to closed session?
Mr. Chairman.
Yes, Mr. Anderson.
Mr. Chairman, I move that the Lenore County Board of Education enter closed session under North Carolina General Statute 143-318.11 to prevent the disclosure of confidential personnel files, to consult with the board's attorney in order to preserve the attorney-client privilege, and to consider matters related to the initial employment of an individual employee.
Is there a second?
Second.
Second. We got a motion by Mr. Anderson and a second by Dr. Outlaw Starkey to move to closed session. Any discussion? I'm hearing none. Chair will call for the vote. All in favor of the motion as stated, please signify by raising your right hand. All opposed, like sign. Motion carries 7-0. We are now in closed session. All right, thank you. Now, the Lawrence County Board of Education is back in open session. Before we ask for your personnel recommendations, I will have to recuse myself from personnel recommendations. I do have immediate family on the report. Is there a recommendation or motion pertaining to the monthly personnel recommendations?
Mr. Chairman,
Yes, Mr. Smith.
move to approve the personnel report with the addendum.
Thank you, Mr. Smith. Is there a second?
Second.
Second by Dr. Outlaw Starkey. We have a motion by Mr. Smith and a second by Dr. Outlaw Starkey to approve the monthly personnel recommendations with the addendum as presented. Is there any discussion? Hearing none, chair will call for the vote. All in favor of the motion, as stated, please signify by raising your right hand. All opposed, like sign. Motion carries 6-0. Mr. Williams will notify these employees of this action. Is there a recommendation or motion pertaining to the teacher contract recommendations?
Mr. Chairman, I make a motion to approve the report with teacher contract recommendations.
Motion by Mr. Smith, is there a second?
Second.
Second by Mrs. Cash. I have a motion by Mr. Smith and a second by Mrs. Cash to approve the teacher contract recommendation as presented. Any discussion? Not hearing none, chair will call for the vote. All in favor of the motion as stated, please signify by raising your right hand. All opposed, like sign. Motion carries 6-0. Mr. Williams will please notify these employees of this action. With no further business to come before the board, is there a recommendation or motion pertaining to adjournment? We have a motion by Mr. Smith. Mr. Anderson, is there a second?
Second.
Dr. Outlaw Starkey. We have a motion by Mr. Anderson and a second by Dr. Outlaw Starkey to adjourn the May 1, 2023 regular monthly board meeting. Any discussion? Hearing none, chair will call for the vote. All in favor of the motion as stated, please signify by raising your right hand. All opposed, like sign. Motion carries 7-0. Meeting is adjourned. Everyone, please stay safe.
Did everyone sign